Okay, here we go, everybody. This is episode 2 of Fifi Quest. This is my podcast. I'm Fifi Dosch. I'm the host of this podcast. Obviously, I'm in a studio apartment. No one else is here. You would know. And this is a podcast designed to document my transition. I used to be a male stand-up comic named Joe Dosch. I am now a female comic named Josephine Dosch, and Fifi for short, hence Fifi Quest. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm staring right into my own face right now because I have the movie recorder playing back at me, and I don't want to stare at myself through the whole videotaping because that's going to freak me out. It's going to be some like self-conscious nightmare. So I'm going to minimize that. There we go. That still works. Good. Now I'm just staring into my desktop. My desktop is actually it's a tarot reading my friend gave me, and why don't we talk about that right now? Because that meant a lot to me. The tarot reading I got, the first card was the Four of Cups, which, if you haven't seen that card, it's this grumpy-looking man sitting by this tree, and a little like angel cloud thing, something from beyond, is giving him this golden chalice, and he's just sitting there like this, like, fuck it, I don't want that shit. So I identify with that for a good 33 years or so. Then the next card is the Ace of Wands, which again, it looks like it's a little cloud and a hand holding onto a wand out of the ether. It kind of looks like, not to put too fine a point on it, but it looks like an angel is running away with someone's penis that they took, you know? So there's that. Next card I got was the King of Cups, which is supposed to be, I want to say it's a balance between, cups is the suit of receptivity and inspiration, and water kind of the element like feminine emotion, receptivity, that kind of thing. And the King of Cups is the marriage of sort of masculine intellect and all that. Like, he's the king of that, but he serves that feminine energy. And by the way, if anyone actually knows what they're talking about in tarot, and I might be talking completely out of my ass, this is just what my friend Sarah said. The next card, it's the Two of Wands, which is a guy staring out at the world. He's on this balcony looking out at the beautiful world, and he's looking at a globe in his hand as if to say, hey, there's the world, I'm going to go get it, here's my little plan for it. And then the final card I got was the Three of Cups, and that's three gals holding gold cups together and celebrating, and there's like a cornucopia nearby, so it's just a bunch of, looks like three girls just hoeing it up with fun and unlimited credit, just having an ancient Greek hoedown or whatever time this is supposed to be. Oh, also, I got this cup the other day, so I'd have a nice message to myself every morning. It says, hey there, pretty lady, Target's finest. I got it at the Burbank Hollywood Way Target, which is the most oddly shaped Target you've ever seen. You think you got a quirky Target? You don't, Missouri. You have a boring-ass Target, just like everyone else in Middle America. Sorry about it. Okay, enough inane bullshit. I actually have another big announcement today. I had my first appointment with the endocrinologist, and I got, boom, hormones. These make you grow tits, and a butt, and hips, and it makes your hair go away. To a degree. Once you start taking this, you can take laser hair removal. If you try to do laser hair removal before you do your testosterone blocker, which one of these is, your hair is just like, yeah, that was cute. I'm coming back. You're coursing with rape hormones. I'm coming right back here. That's not fair to say. I don't like when people say that about men. That's totally not fair. It rains on them too. I ought to know. I've lived as both. That's another thing. I've lived as a woman for a month and a half, so I know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so I took these for the first time today, you guys, and I swear I could feel it. I felt something in my body. I felt a little squishiness floating around. Sometimes, though, one of kind of my spiritual issues is I've for a lot of my life I used negativity to keep me small. That's essentially what it is. Someone in a 12-step program told me that complaining is basically a drug, or not necessarily even complaining, just sort of getting off on like nothing is ever going to work out for me, or everyone is against me, or just that ugh kind of feeling like that. Just that I would wear this ugh kind of all around me at all times, like a blanket. And it got to be a really gross thing I would take comfort in. And I've started a program recently that's all about treating that as if it's an addiction and doing things to live otherwise. Because when I'm free, I'm so happy, you guys. Like, there were little moments today. Like I'll catch myself wearing like an outfit I'm wearing in a window or in a mirror, and I just light up. I make what I call like raptor noise, where I'll just look at myself and I'll be like ah, or I'll be like ah, like yeah, just a prehistoric shriek of joy is how I feel. Yeah, but sometimes I just feel like I'm wrapped in that gross old blanket of everything sucks, don't look at me. And like, when I'm like was in the wrong body, living as the wrong gender for most of my life, like why, it's hard not to adopt just nihilism or this very like low flame boil of why fucking bother as sort of your guiding principle. And if you have a belief for a long time, it doesn't just go away in a day. In my experience, you can't make them go away at all, regardless of time. In my experience, it's about doing things to allow those beliefs to get better. I try not to hold on to I try not to hold on to my problems or my issues so tightly. I try not to capital F fix them, because when I'm fixing them, I'm grabbing onto them tighter and everything. And I feel my new way of looking at life is actually for me. Life is very, very good. Life wants me to be the best version of myself, and it doesn't want me like it's demanding that I deliver that for it. It wants it in the sense that if I can let go, that's where I'll float down to. And I think that's the hardest thing for me, is learning to let go. Doing a lot of, in some of these programs you do a lot of writing on yourself. They do a lot of writing about incidents from your past that maybe you're hung up on still, that bothered me, that I have baggage about or resentments about, or I can't seem to let go. And they have you write what fears about that kind of thing, or what my part in it was. And I'm noticing like I have this habit in my whole life of, like, if you don't know me, I grew up in a really tiny town in South Dakota. Redundant. Like, I actually grew up in a big town for South Dakota. My town, like, the biggest town in South Dakota, imagine if they just plopped down Burbank in Siberia. That's essentially what Sioux Falls, South Dakota is. But I grew up in a little town called Aberdeen. It was the third biggest town in the state. It's 25,000 people. I'd say 55% of them are elderly. Um, but anyway, I grew up, went into this Catholic school. We didn't have. I'm always amazed when I meet people who grew up in like Long Beach or whatever, where it was like, hey, there were the goth kids and the skaters, and there were the nerd kids, and there were the kids who were into D&D. Like we didn't have subgroups. We didn't have enough people to have that luxury. There was like, I mean, you couldn't even really split up. I mean, maybe there were like, you were either like preppy or a redneck, and those two unholy alliances were like intertwined altogether, or there was a tiny little contingent of, I guess, like punk kids. And throughout my whole life, I never, like with popular kids in my Catholic school who obviously weren't right for me, I never felt like I fit in with them, but I always felt like I had to regard them in some way. I didn't have it in me to be like, well, fuck you, I'll find my own friends. I always thought like I had to have a foot in that world. Or even though I didn't like them, if they sucked, like they could validate me. I have a pattern in my life of like people who were wrong for me or didn't like me or I didn't like them or just were not a good fit for me. They had the power to give me the real love that mattered, is what I believed. And I would ignore friends I did have, like the punk kids growing up in my high school, or like when I went to when I went to college, I didn't get along with like the vast majority of my class, but like I had friends and like close friends, but I just, for whatever reason, I was like always like, I've got to get the people in my college to like me. I've got to get my college class friends to like me. And like looking back, I never really liked them, and they weren't right for me. And my point in saying all this is I have this pattern in my life of trying so hard to get what I need, whether it's love or acceptance or just my needs, material needs even. I have to try so hard to struggle to get a tiny little crumb of it from people who look at me like a little bug they have to feed. Like, oh, okay, here's this for you. Meanwhile, all the while, if I just would like stop and look right in front of me, stop struggling, I was like, oh, there's love, and there's friendship, and there's everything I need right in front of me. The friends I had in college, I met most of them because they lived next door to me, and they said, hey, what's up, one day, and I went over and hung out with them, and we became friends, and it was so easy. And that's what I'm trying to let go of, the idea that life needs to be hard. As I said, I was always like, I have to struggle so hard to get what I want. But I'm finding, from doing all this work, if I slow down, what I need kind of floats right to me. I mean, at least it does compared to how I was living. That's what I say too when people ask about me transitioning, and they're like, but that's gonna be hard. It's so not. What, like, one, you just go to the doctor and say, hey, I think I'm a girl, and they go, cool, come back and get some tit pills in a week, and they just give them to you, and so I'm noticing that pattern in my life. Or also, and with the transition, it's easier to do these big emotional things, even if they're, quote, hard, than it is to not do them. They might not be as comfortable, but they're not harder, so to speak. My goal this year is to really let go of the idea that things need to be hard and embrace the idea that slowing down, softening up, living easily is the way to get what I need in life, to get prosperity and to get love and to get friendship. Because you know what? I do this in my professional life. there are certain areas of my comedy, certain networks or certain scenes that I don't like their work. They don't seem to like mine, but for some reason I waste a lot of energy up here thinking like, why doesn't such and such ever booked me? Why doesn't such and such ever put me on their channel? And I'm like, would I ever watch anything on this channel? No. Do I get to go up in a dream place, the Comedy Store, all the time and do exactly my art exactly the way I wanted? Could I possibly have better opportunities to do my dream thing, comedy, more in a possibly better way right now? No. But there's part of me that goes, yeah, but I need to regard these people who don't like me because I have to struggle to get a crumb rather than stopping and embracing the love I am getting. I'm trying to let that go this year. Speaking of that, I've been dating a lot starting now lately. A tough thing about transitioning to is like once it becomes real, once it's like, for a long time, it's just all I really had prepared in my head was like, hey, I could wear makeup and I could wear skirts and dresses out, and wouldn't that be fun? And it was fun, and it's so much fun still. But then once, like, you throw, things that change your body into the mix and think about, like, okay, well, now that I'm taking estrogen, my hair will grow faster. I can grow hair. I'm going to get my eyebrows done. I might remove my Adam's apple. I could qualify for a vaginoplasty, as in, taking my dick and going and turning that into a vagina. I could do that in a year. That's not that far away. So then it's like, wow, this all just became very, very real, and I have a goal now that's kind of far away. My problem with goals is when I look at a goal as a destination, I find it very, very easy for me to focus on the distance between where I am now and that goal. A month ago, I was like, I'm so amazing. I get to be Fifi. I get to be a girl. I was happy as a pig in shit, just wearing dresses, wearing makeup, looking like a boy in a dress. Fine. When I'm like, wow, I can do things to look like a woman with a capital W, it's easy to go, oh, I have so far to go. Poor me. I don't want to do that. So my thing, I tried to look at goals not so much as destinations as it's more like a compass direction. Like I'm going in the direction of transitioning. I don't want to look at it like I will do this, that, and the other, then it will be done, and then I win. I find it harder to stay positive that way. When I'm like, my transition is that way, there's certain actions and things to do, let's go. I find it easier to be like, oh wow, I made an endocrinology appointment and I got an estrogen and testosterone blockers today. I went to a voice physical therapist today to try to develop a female voice. It becomes like, when I look at it like that, it becomes a list of things I do well rather than a list of things I need to do. I need to do this. I need to get on estrogen. I need to hurry up. I need to grow hair. I don't respond well to living that way. I can't manifest jack shit living that way. And you know what? I'm not envy of people who do. Like, I have to relax and have fun to have any kind of hope of living a full, vibrant life. Oh dear. I know people who can like yank every dollar and every little bit of everything out of life hard, and they can make a pile of money doing that, or a pile of achievements, or whatever it is. If I could live that way, I would. So I'm glad I can't. Anyway. Oh, maybe I'll talk about the voice therapist a little bit. Um, the way that works is if you're a female to male trans person, you can take testosterone. Testosterone will widen your vocal cords. You can develop a man voice. Unfortunately, you can't take estrogen and shrink your vocal cords. There are surgeries you can do, but they're kind of I don't from my from my exhaustive MacBook Air research, I don't see a lot of success with the voice therapies, or with the voice surgeries rather. Supposedly there's like a guy in South Korea who's like um, the tranny voice dude in the world. So I don't know. Maybe I'm going to Seoul in a once I sell my movie. um, anyway, hold on. I'm gonna make sure it's still running here. Good. We're good. Sorry about that. But anyway, so I went to the voice therapist person, and basically what she does, she gives you a series of laryngeal exercises there to relax your... See, I can barely even talk because I've been trying to do this all day, trying to talk in a girl's voice. She gives you a series of laryngeal exercises. You lay on the floor and you stretch your head in one way or the other. The key is, though, I'm finding is resonance. When you talk like it's resonating in kind of your sinuses and your nose and your lips versus resonating in your throat. Right now, I'm fine. Like when I talk, I can feel it in my nose and lips a little bit. I'm trying to talk very forward in my face, but as a guy, I can feel it right here, and it's coming out like that. Ugh, God, I don't even like doing that as an example anymore. So it's taking the voice from here up in the here. And I don't mind telling you, it feels weird. It feels... I just realize I'm trying very hard to do it. Like, there's nothing that says this can't be done softly. That was another thing just now that I felt like I have to try to get my voice from my throat up into my nose and face and lips. That can be very soft too. And I like it because I feel when I'm living softly, that's when my truest self come out. I feel like my voice sets... I don't get poor me about all this all that often, but when I do, I find that my voice usually has something to do with it, because the way I'm talking even right now feels so new and so weird, where it's like... You ever like go skiing and you use muscles in your legs you haven't used in a million years and you just feel so sore afterwards? That's how I feel with my throat. I feel like I look like I'm going skiing with this top. I feel like a ski resort owner's daughter from 1988, and like, I had tea with Marla Maples or something. But anyway, I feel like my guy voice, the more I hear it now, it's really, really abrasive. It's really guttural. It's really raspy, and it's like it closes into a fist on every consonant and every word. And I feel like what I thought was me speaking normally and comfortably, and it was comfortable just because I did it my whole life, but that doesn't mean it was genuine. It was a fake construct designed to like push life away and push other people away, get life off me, and that's makes me sad, because that's not the kind of person I want to be anymore. I want to be really warm, and I want to be like... I don't remember if I talked about this in the last episode, but I've been watching Marilyn Monroe a lot, every Marilyn Monroe movie is just her walking into places. She just goes into a place and she's beautiful and warm and she's just like Venus and she's just like, hi, I'm here. And everyone, like all these 50s dudes are like, oh, ho, ho, ring-a-ding-ding, or whatever they said in the 50s. And that's just like what I want to be. I want to just be like a warm trail of joy that's just floating through places. And, it's like I'm a riverbed that like your happiness can flow into me, and I'm gonna direct it out to the rest of the world. I want to just be a walking channel of good vibes. That's what I want to be. I still want to make jokes about like 9/11 and shit. Don't get me wrong. I don't think those are mutually exclusive thoughts. Hey, speaking of 9/11, I was thinking the other day, like when Calvin and Hobbes are like riding on their wagon, like going down the hill, and they're like, whoa. I think it'd be funny to like see them riding on top of a plane like that, and then just flying into the Twin Towers. Oh God, I love goofing on 9/11. I love it, and you know what? It dates me, but I don't care. This is, This is my 9/11 is my where's the beef. That's what we did in the 2000s, kids. We would goof on world events, and we would listen to Bill Hicks, and we thought we were edgy and smart, but we were only kind of smart. So, get off my lawn. Go post a TikTok on your Instagram about it. I'll never watch Bill Hicks again, I decided. He meant the world to me when I was from the ages of like 19 to 21. I guarantee, the world to me in the pre-internet age. It existed, but like not like it does today. In South Dakota, going to Catholic school your whole life, and then to discover that guy, it was like... it was like opening the Ark of the Covenant. It just blew my mind away. It was incredible. But I guarantee if I watch a word of it now, I'm going to hate his guts. I can't imagine why you haven't been laid for 3 years, Bill Hicks. Ugh. Who would have thought? Sorry, I choked on some coffee grounds. It said coffee in it. It's a coffee cup. Anyway, gosh, how much time are we at? Okay. Look at my paper here. Oh, I'll tell you about some practical things going on. I'm stressed out about my hair. I'd like to have some. Supposedly estrogen makes it grow very quickly. Still, I feel like, I'm starting from shaved head. So, it might take a year to look like, a girl with gross shoulder-length hair who goes to a feminist comic book store and, men think about violating but can't even make eye contact with. But such is life. So, that just is what it is, I suppose. Also, and I don't want to do wigs. I don't want to do a wig. It just... I'm doing this all to feel more me. And I don't want to feel... Wigs feel like a costume to me. I feel like I'm hiding behind something. I did this to do the exact opposite of hide. I'd rather feel like a supermodel with all my flaws and still looking rather masculine than hide under a pretty disguise. yeah, I don't see the point in doing all this if it's not the first way. Same with makeup at this point too. I feel it's hard. I'm learning a lot more about makeup. I don't like too much. It feels like drag, you know. Um, but we'll see. We'll see. Okay, guys. I, like I said, I've been trying to date because I want to really, 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 like, if I can't feel fabulous now, there's no amount of, boobs or dick removal that's going to make me. That's got to come from within, and I want to cultivate that within right now. I want to feel beautiful right now, and there's no reason I can't. Saying that, someone hit me up on Hinge who is just this gorgeous, just semi-literate Ukrainian lunk who's just gorgeous. And he hit me up on Hinge and he's like, I'd love to get your contact info. And I sent it to him, and part of me is like, am I getting catfished? Like, his photos are like absurdly beautiful. Like, I don't know if women even get catfished like that, but I was like, he was so cute. I'm like, this must be fake. And I don't even think that's self-esteem on my, I mean, maybe a little, but like, you would, if you saw his photos, you'd be like, no, you're not crazy or self-loathing to think you're getting catfished. But he's like, all right, let me get your contact info. I'm like, okay, well, what's the worst going to happen? He'll sell it to some bill collector and I'll get, I get spam already. I'll roll the dice. But he's been texting me and he called me Queen Fifi. And, I haven't specifically told him, hey, are you aware I am trans? I'm certain that's not unclear in my photos. Just is what it is. So, I might be going on a date with maybe the hottest man I've ever seen. So we'll see, everybody. I mean, that would be a big amount of potential happiness, and part of me wants to just be like, no, just run away and hide. But I'm going to slowly but surely keep talking to him and show up for this and see what happens. So yeah, also, if there are any trans people listening to this and you're worried about, oh, am I going to be able to date? Is anyone going to want me? I'll say, I think I said this last time, I'll say it again. I've been getting hit up more in the last month than I did in years and years and years at living as a gay man. That makes me feel good because it makes me feel like really, even even men with all their testosterone are really attracted to your spirit. So that makes me very happy. Anyway, I think that's as good a note as any to end on. So this has been episode 2 of Fifi Quest. Thank you all very, very much for watching. Subscribe to it on iTunes or on this YouTube channel, wherever you can find it. And then you could tweet around and promote it up. Also, I'm not entirely sure where this is going to come out, but I'm going to be performing at Skank Fest South in Houston, Texas. They have decided today they are not going to cancel this thing because of coronavirus. If the state of Texas shuts it down, they will cut it down, but Texas doesn't shut down shit. They go get a gun, and if the virus comes to your lawn, you have every right to shoot it. Like God intended. So I will be there. I am so looking forward to Skankfest, you guys. I think the lineups are just out of control. It's going to be the most fun, most fun comedy festival I think you could possibly do. It's going to be a hoot. Get your tickets online. Yeah. So thank you all so much for listening. I'm Fifi Dosch. Thanks for listening to Fifi Quest. Bye.